Yeah, actually, me and Mikko had this idea of this new band.
Yeah, it was right about when we decided that Disco Ensemble was going to quit.
Lapko and Disco Ensemble, we have played lots of tours together and we know each other quite well. And that's why it felt quite natural, because playing in a band, it's so much more than just playing. I felt immediately like okay, I would like to hang out with these guys, outside the stage as well.
It took a few months after we talked to actually get down to writing songs. I had made quite a few demos already, and Ville started to work on the demos as well, and pretty soon he came up with lyrics and vocal lines for the demos.
We were thinking that who would be the right bassist for this. Henka's technician is my friend, and I was like talking that okay, this is like just between you and me. I told Taneli that we're really looking for a bassist, and Taneli was and maybe I have something in my mind.
It was the early summer of 2019. It was kind of like the last summer of Children of Bodom. We were playing somewhere in Germany, maybe I don't remember, in somewhere in Europe, and then our show was done, and I was giving my guitar to my technician, and he was like, yeah, by the way, I have a question for you after the show. And then I went back to the hotel, and whenever he arrived, he was like, yeah, it's this thing that Ville Malja, he would like to talk to you about some new music stuff. And I'm like, okay, wow, this came out of the blue. I didn't expect anything like this. I've been a Lapko fan, and especially Ville's singing or voice fan for a long time.
And guys were like, what the fuck? Of course, yeah.
We were like, yeah, it's not gonna probably happen, but we should definitely ask.
And then I got the demos, and I was very pleased when I heard, even though musically it would be a big leap for me. And then it took another 2 weeks, and then we were actually sitting, all four of us, on Jussi's yard. Is there a word in English for this pihake?
It's like a big wooden swing.
Yeah, big yard swing in
I think it's a Finnish
house yard.
It's a Finnish thing, right? This pihake.
We have had quite a few meetings in that swing, sort of.
It's a defining place.
Yeah, like the biggest decisions have been made in that yard swing.
Pretty much all the decisions in the first year were made in that swing.
Yeah.
It's a great device because it cradles, but then the table stays still, so you can have your coffees there.
It's a great device.
Possibly one of the reasons that we spent so much time there was that we never had any doubts that we could play and we could perform and record stuff, but actually a lot of the stuff that takes time in a band is deciding the big decisions.
I highly respect Mikko's approach to things, because he usually knows quite well what he thinks. If he says something, he knows exactly why he's thinking that way and why his ideas or opinions are. He's having like such a fact-based process, which is like totally opposite than mine, because I'm like saying things that okay, I'm thinking that this like based on nothing, and
it just feels right.
yeah. And Mikko is like more like fact oriented, or at least I feel.
Emotionally deprived.
You can put it that way as well.
Yeah, we've sort of gone a long way and gone back to square one. That says it's all about the music. It's like it's not everything else around it. It's only about the music, and everything else around it will follow.
If you like good melodic rock music, you have to, like or love this band.
I would say there's a lot of positive enthusiasm in the music. Huge melodies fit for big stadiums and open-air festivals, but still like this small rock club enthusiasm in it as well. So it can work like in both ways, and coming from our background, I guess we're pretty good at playing shitty, sweaty clubs as well.
The first show we did in Germany, I was super nervous before the show. I hadn't experienced that kind of like feeling in a long time.
It's pretty much the point of being in a band, because music can exist without bands, but bands can't exist without live. Doesn't make any sense.
That's why you put all the sweat and all the work and all the hours so that you can feel the bloom on stage.
Jussi is like putting this holy first seed on the ground every time because it's like, you know, like as he's like starting this songwriting process and everything is like put, you know, everything we like we build on that.
The actual notes that they come from Jussi's head, or I don't know, heart. I don't know where they come from, but anyway, they end up in the computer and then they end up in our headphones, and then we all get inspired, and that's of course the key of this band.
The process is really important to me nowadays. It's even, I guess it's even more important than the outcome in a way, you know. And with this band, I've been really blessed that with the fact that the process of song making and the process of making everything work, it's really smooth, and it's I really like where I am in that whole situation.
There's lots of people who can write songs and who can work with Logic or home studio and stuff like that. But there's not too many people who can make a band and who can make a big show. It's a totally different game.
Yeah, nowadays you actually can make a great rock album from your bedroom, but you can't make a great live show, you know, from your bedroom.
Well,
yeah. You can feel like that. You can feel like that.
if you have a speaker,
about this album title quite a lot. This album is full of like sincere and honest stories. It's like one long pray.
I think it also reflects the sincerity and honesty that we try to bring along in the songwriting and everything we do around this band and with these songs. So it's like sort of self-explanatory to have that title.
and it's good that it's the first album, because having Confession as a second album would suggest that we lied before. Now we're coming clean, but we're coming clean on the first album. So this is it. This is the ground truth.
It's a big thing to say that your album is called Confession.
I'm amazed how well Ville's lyrical themes ties everything together, because as individual music they sound very different, but now listening to the music they sort of sound like they should be on the same album. I think you're not too much in love with your art, so you can take critic pretty well, and you can change stuff without losing the original idea.
Yeah, and I think it shows big confidence.
All of the songs, they are like a true stories in a way. All of those little details there, they're like fact-based, you know.
If you compare the songs with each other, they are like very different. It's quite diverse in a way. We have these 13 songs, they're all different. One is slow, one is faster. That's it. That's Moonshot. That's the debut album of Moonshot. That's the honesty and the sincerity also with thought.
Songwriting-wise, I try to be really tough about picking the songs and picking the parts, and also try to be really stay true to myself whether I like it or not. And if something didn't work in my mind or wasn't good enough, it just had to go. So the good thing is that we had so much material that we could do this like sort of like personal cherry picking, since me and Ville did the lion's share of writing the songs for this album. The talent that Ville has and the talent that I possess, it's the synergy with those two is really good, you know. We can together make a whole song and produce it pretty well.
I think that one important thing is always, trust your gut feeling and what you really feel here instead of here. It's like you don't need any qualifications or approves.
Yeah, that's well said. Don't ask permission to make your art. Just do it.